Welcome back, class. Today, our lesson is When You Are Old by W.B. Yeats. So, W.B. Yeats, let us begin with W.B. Yeats, right? W.B. Yeats, as you know, is the Irish poet and the foremost and the important figure of the 20th century literature, 20th century's key language poet, you can say. And about his writing, if we say about his impressive and the golden writing, he used elusive imageries and the symbolic structures. Now, to get focused on elusive imageries, what do you mean by elusive imageries? Elusive imageries means that suggests the states of minds which words cannot capture. Certain states of minds, right, which we cannot express through words, but he was the master in the selection of imageries, right? In your first year, one more thing, that is one more poem, if I can remember, the schoolboys, right? Pastoral imageries, perhaps you can remember well, right? Pastoral imageries, schoolboys, William Blake, right? He has shown his mastery. So here Yeats has shown his mastery in elusive imageries, expressing the state of minds and the condition and the emotions of minds, right? And the symbolic structure. The structure symbols certain symbols. It expresses the conditions of minds, right? His early poetry drew drew heavily on Irish myth and folklore, and gradually it was changed to the contemporary issues as the critic they realized, right? One of the main trait or the characteristic features of his writing, that was love and mysticism that we can find in his writing. One more thing that we cannot ever ignore in his writing, that is spiritualism. Spiritualism was one of the trait of his writing, right? So this is all about the Irish poet, the greatest ever poet, Yeats, okay, the Nobel laureate. Now let us come to our poem, When You Are Old. Right, when we are talking about when you are old, what I can remember that I like to begin every time with D.H. Lawrence one quotation, one poem, right? So it says, you can remember, the fragrance of the first rain. Can you? The fragrance of the first rain, or say the old toy. All of a sudden, if you can find in a dusty attic, or that old song after many days when you listen, or you used to listen in your childhood, or many ordinary things that all of a sudden pulls the string of your heart, and you start remembering the past days of your childhood, that you start yearning the past days of your childhood. That way you start walking down the memory lane, and you forget completely the present you, and you become the past you. That means you completely become the childhood of yours, right? That means the metamorphosis, the complete change. You just ignore adulthood of yours, and you become completely, you start memorizing of your past, right? So it is when you are old is kind of expectation of something like that. 23 years old, a young boy writes about a young girl when they will be old, right? The first thing, right? that when she will be old, they will come back to this young age, and she will realize what she has lost. Right? This is the unrequited love story. Let me tell you, Yeats was in deep love with someone. Her name is Maud Gonne. Maud Gonne was a very progressive lady, and she was a very prominent character of the silver screen of those days. She was very beautiful indeed. And by that time, Yeats was a budding poet. I never say that because of Yeats, he was a budding poet and he was never been reciprocated with the same way. But somehow, ample of time, he tried to propose, but it was never been reciprocated the same way, right? So Yeats tried to immortalize his true love for Maud Gonne in many ways. One of the way was writing several poems. One among them is When You Are Old. When You Are Old is, he is trying to recognize, giving the recognition of his true love. That means Maud Gonne was somewhere with the pace of her age. When she will grow old, she will realize that yes, it was her true love. He was the true love of her life. She will realize somewhere, someday, right? And then Yeats' love will get recognized. That means the past day she will realize, and past day will be alive to her. Got it? Before I get started, I like to give some of the information about this poem. Look at the board. This poem is based on a sonnet. The sonnet was written by a French poet. His name is Pierre de Ronsard. Sonnet for Helen. Okay, Sonnet for Helen by Pierre de Ronsard. And this poem of ours, When You Are Old, is written in iambic pentameter, and it is A B B A in this way. While I go through it, I will just keep on explaining to you. And the name of the love of his life, she is Maud Gonne, right? So now we will begin with the first stanza of ours, right? Now let us begin with the poem itself, right? So the poem says that when you are old and grey and full of sleep. When you are old and grey and full of sleep. A 23 years old boy is writing about his beloved, that when she will grow old, she will be aged, she will lose her beauty, and she will be devoid of beauty, she will be gloomy and lusterless, and she will lose the brightness. That means the old grey, it indicates the aging, and it focuses on the monotonous, lonely, sad life of the old and aged lady. And full of sleep. Full of sleep means its weariness, it indicates the proximity to death. A young lady of today, right? So it is, the unique feature of the poet Yeats. When he was very young, he assumes that yes, at the time will come when he will be old, when his lady love will grow old, right? And at this time, she might have the realization of losing her true love, right? With this high hope, he writes this poem. And nodding by the fire, taking down this book. Nodding by the fire, by the way, I expect students, you are sitting with your book, otherwise the charm of this nice poem will be lost. Don't you think so? Right. Nodding by the fire. Nodding by the fire means moving head up and down because of the age, because of the weakness, right? She is very old, so because of her weakness, because of the old age, nodding by the fire, right? It is why she is sitting by the fire, because of the warmth. Here warmth, it carries two meanings, right? It has a double meaning. Warmth of love is lost in her life. Once she had the warmth of love, and now that is no more in her life, that is lost, okay? And warmth that she needs here, okay? Warmth, that is true way warmth, because it is needed in this age of her. And warmth, that is warmth of love, that is even she needs at this age of her, right? Take down this book. Students, book, it has the true meaning. Book here, it means the memory of heart. Here, can you remember, I started with D.H. Lawrence's poem, right? So that means moving down the memory lane, going through the past, right? So here the book means the memory. So here it is the invitation of the poet that you come, move down, let us have a journey through the past. That is down this book, moving down this book. When together, let us have a journey through the past, right? Through this book means have a journey through the past. And slowly read and dream of the soft look your eyes had once. Soft look had once, right? That means, and their shadow deep. Here the meaning is shadow deep, soft look, the dazzle of your eyes, the beauty, the dazzling eyes. She has lost that beauty, the soft look, the dazzling, the charming beauty, the captivating charm of her eyes, that today that is been lost, okay? That is a, now it is the sense of stupor, you can say, okay, that evokes sense of unknown, that is the mysterious sense once she had, okay? But you have, now you will realize, though you have lost that charm, that beauty, but now you will have the realization of truth. Now the outer beauty is lost, right? But you have the realization of truth with the pace of aging of yours. Okay, now let us have the journey of the past and of the truth. So this is the thing, when you are old and grey and full of sleep, as both of us, we are moving towards the death, let us have a journey through the past. Let us have the truth. Let us face the truth that we have lost, you have lost the beauty and the dazzling and the charming, the charisma that once you had, right? The physical charm, the magnetic charisma once you had, and now let us face the truth of our life. Next. How many loved your moments of glad grace? Yes. Glad grace is the majestic beauty, physical beauty. Here there is a prominent segregation, my dear students. One is the physical beauty, right? And one is the beauty of the soul, which is very much prominently segregated, and very much prominently it is being depicted by Yeats, that most of the people of this world, they fell in love with the outer beauty. Woman who has the outer beauty, they have the physical charm, right? They get attracted. Okay, the woman, a beautiful woman, they are being attracted because of their physical charm. Okay, so it is a known truth, isn't it? So what Yeats wants to reveal here, that yes, because you have been loved by many, you are being attracted by many, you had many admirers once, you have been flattered by many, because you used to be a graceful lady, right? You are charming. But what if and what when you will lose your beauty? Here he says that how many loved your moments of glad grace, because you had that physical beauty, magnetic charisma you had once, right? So you will have to consider, because as the days are passing by, right, the days elapse, the years elapsed, and gradually you have lost your beauty with the elapsed time. Then you realize that now the how many admirers are left with you, right? So how many loved your moments of glad grace and loved your beauty with love, false or true? This is very meaningful. Loved, true or false? That is it love? What love means to you? Love, does it mean that retains with the sustaining beauty? How the beauty? That means love, is it related to the sustainable beauty? And how long beauty sustains? Beauty doesn't sustain, my dear student. How long the beauty sustain? With the gradually progressing age engulf the beauty, isn't it? And if someone loves the beauty with the perishing beauty, the love perishes, isn't it? Today till here, next day we will start our next session from here. Okay, thank you.